Hi there. Today we're going to go through a couple little series, moving the spine, getting the hips going, getting the breath. This is great if you're haven't been moving for a little while or you're looking for something just to kind of move the joints, get the blood flowing, that sort of thing. So we'll start laying down, doing some tilts, bridges, all that good stuff. So coming down and finding the position with the feet and legs in this hip, knee, second toe alignment. You can bring your hands to the low belly or down by your side. I kind of like the low belly just because it allows you to check in with what your hips are doing. So beginning with inhaling through the nose, taking a big arch of the back, and then exhale, imprinting the low back into the mat. And I'll adjust my hips a little bit. Inhale, arching. Exhale, imprinting. And so with this, checking in with the hips, checking in with the pelvis. I'll say it over and over again, but it's just a nice opportunity for you to feel what's going on through the hips. If there's any stickiness, they feel uneven. And symmetry isn't always the goal. Like we live in an unsymmetrical world, but it is good to check out and see what's going on with the body, the hips. They're important. They're kind of the keystone of things because you walk underneath them and then you move above them. So from there, let's progress into a bridge, taking a big inhale. Hands can be by your side, pressing in, opening the collarbones. Exhale, imprinting nice and slow. This first one sometimes might feel a little stickier than the next couple. Inhaling at the top, grounding the heels, maybe pulling them a little bit towards the tail. And exhale, softening, slowly lowering down. Inhale, arch, smiling up towards the ceiling. And exhale, imprinting, vertebrae by vertebrae, feeling each ring of the ribs. Inhale, exhale, softening, breastbone. Collarbone widens. And let's do 2 more rounds here. Inhale, arching. Exhale, imprinting. Peeling up. Inhaling at the top. Exhale. Softening. So just using this as an opportunity to see where your breath is going, seeing how the spine is moving. And if you feel any sticky spots or spots that you kind of move in chunks, go a little bit slower. Just because I say to move on from things, you're on your own, so you don't have to listen. You can stay there and kind of breathe into the movement a little bit more, a little bit slower, press pause, whatever you want to do. So from there, hold at the top. Let's heel toe the leg out. So you're grounding the leg that's not moving, the heel that's not moving, so that glute is engaged, it's supporting. Still feeling like the hips stay pretty parallel to the floor. They may dip a little bit as you're really exaggerating the heel lift, the toe lift, heel lift, toe lift. So you get this internal and external movement through the leg. Going to your end range, it may be different. Other side, taking an inhale, grounding the heel, and exhale. Here, the breathing can be whatever you feel like best facilitates the movement. So there isn't a specific thing. And if you start to feel like your low back is like kicking on or you need a break, bring the hips down. You can do this movement with the hips down too. What we're trying to do is just get this movement through the leg a little bit, waking up some of those smaller muscles, internal, external, that sort of thing. So last one. And holding there. And we're just gonna kind of to side. It doesn't have to be any specific level that you're dipping to. You might just want to do a little dip. You dip, I dip, that sort of thing. And so, or you can go all the way down, just making sure that it's slow and very intentional. So from there, taking an inhale, filling up the back of the lungs, and then exhale, softening, slowly rolling down, and giving your knees a little hug, a little back and forth, if that feels okay for you. Feet come down, finding neutral spine. We're gonna warm up the upper body, so hands are right behind the head, taking an inhale, and exhale, lifting. Inhale, extending, and exhale, lifting. Feeling like the ribs funnel together and almost like that low belly draws up towards the ribs. So they're like meeting at that belly button area. Inhale, extend, exhale, feeling like the hip bones kind of widen as you exhale. And then inhale, ribs expand, exhale, lifting. Good, last one. Adding in now here, a reach across. Inhale to lower down. Exhale to lift. Inhale, filling up the back of the lungs. And exhale. Inhale, lower. Exhale. This is just kind of getting this movement through the upper back. Nice, slow up and down, just to kind of really feel that deep abdominal engagement as you lift and lower. Mixing it up for a little side bend. So we're gonna exhale to lift, still keeping that neutral spine, and this time we're gonna reach out to the outside of the leg as the heel taps wide. Back to center, lowering down, and then lifting and heel tap out, being pretty intentional about each kind of segment of the movement. So it's a exhale, lift, funneling down as that low belly draws up, and then the side bending reach, and then pausing at the top, lowering down. So we're not rushing through the kind of, we're not like going right into the side bend, which is not bad, but here we just get to choose to kind of break it into segments. So good, last one either side, and lower, lift, side bend, and then now from there, we're going to bring the hands down by your side, keeping that neutral spine. You can also bring your hands here to the sides with the elbows kind of pressed into the mat, just to give yourself some tactile feedback of what's happening, so you're not popping your low back away as you kind of move into these exercises. So taking a big inhale, exhale, bringing one leg up, inhale, exhale, bringing the other leg up, and the movement is going to be an inhale to lower down, exhale to come up, inhale to lower down, exhale to come up. And so if keeping your legs at this top position is too much for your spine, you want to arch your low back, then you can always do this with your feet on the ground and alternate that way. But this, I'm gonna kind of inhale, exhale, filling the back of the lungs, feeling like the back of the ribs, the bottom of the ribs stay connected, but you're in neutral spine. So tail is heavy, a little bit of space between the low back, and then the ribs hug in each time you exhale. Last one. If you want a little bit of endurance, you can hold at the top. If you need to take a break, bring the heels down. Taking an inhale, opening the knee out to the side. This is bent knee fallout. And then other side. So we're alternating side to side. But here, let's try and keep the hips pretty even and equal. So as you open up and add the weight of the leg, our hips aren't really tipping to the side of the leg. It's like we're staying really even through the hips, and the legs just kind of move independently. Using the breath to initiate the drawing back in, and if you need to take a break at any time, take a break, reset, come back to it. Last 2, and last 1. Good. From there, taking a reset, inhale, exhale, one leg followed by the other. And here, we're going to start with our hands, let's say out wide a little bit. And we're going to inhale, rocking the knees off to the side. And here the hip will pop up, but we're staying controlled. We're keeping the same distance between the bottom of the ribs and the top of the hip bones. Inhale as you rock to one side, and then exhale as you rock to the other. Adding a little bit more control, you can bring your hands up. Inhale, exhale. Making sure that you don't tip over. And inhaling into the back of the lungs. Exhale to come back to center. Last one, over to this side. And we're going to hold here and just make little tiny circles with the knees. And if this is too much for your back, low back, you can bring your legs down anytime. And here I am coming out of neutral spine a little bit, but it's controlled. It's almost like I'm kind of like drawing a big circle on my back here. So it's, imagine this is a clock face, your backside, and then reverse the circle. And so now we're going clockwise, just drawing kind of on the outside of that circle. Cool. All right, last one. And then lowering the legs down, spreading the arms wide, letting both knees just fall off to one side. This is one of my favorite stretches, looking the opposite direction of your knees. And then using your exhale to bring the knees across so you have support as you rock over to the other side. We're also not pushing this stretch too much. We really want to feel like it's just an opening. We're not trying to get to any certain point as we twist. Exhale, one more each side. Inhale, looking opposite. And exhale. Good, connecting through the ribs there. Inhale and exhale. Good. Coming up here, rolling over to your side, and we're gonna come into a quadruped position. So with this, wrists are right underneath the shoulders. Let's give a little arch, cat-cow there. Arcing back and forth here. Little bit of a tail wag. And then finding neutral spine. Collarbones are smiling towards the mat. And we're going to begin with an arc of the leg up. So inhale, tapping the knee. It doesn't have to be right next to the knee that's on the ground. You're tapping. The knee that's on the ground is right underneath your hips. And you're trying to keep neutral spine and also keep the crown of the head long. When we're doing this exercise, a lot of time our tendency is to let the head drop. But here, we really want to keep it in alignment. They say that your deep abdominals engage more when your spine is aligned. So we're going to try and keep that here. Good. Last one. And we're going to add on. So when the knee is down, we're going to bend the elbows, bringing the chest towards the mat, and then exhale, extend that leg long. Inhale to tap, keeping the chest parallel to the floor as you go. And also, as you lower, you don't want to necessarily send the hips back. We want the shoulders to stay right over the wrists there. So last two, inhale, exhale. Last one, and good. From there, we're gonna come down to our elbows and continue on that same side. We are going to arc up and then circle out and around. Feeling the sit bones draw long, head is still in alignment. It's like you're polishing out the hip socket here with that leg bone. Good. Elbows are feeling like they're kind of pulling apart from each other without actually moving. And also seeing if you can connect your breath to this low belly engagement. So inhaling as you control down, exhaling as you lift against gravity. Let's reverse direction. So inhaling here, exhale to lift up to the highest point, and then inhale to come back home. Cool. Exhale, lift, and circling. Good, just moving through that full range of movement through the hip, stirring the leg bone in the hip socket. Last one. And then now from there, extending the legs straight, curling the toes, and just give a little rock back and forth to stretch out the foot a little bit. Also shrugging the shoulders up, shrugging them down, getting that bonus micro movements through the shoulders. Holding now with the shoulders right over the elbows. We're going to arc here, side to side. Finding these rainbow arcs, so you are feeling as though the initiation of the lift comes from where the glute meets the hamstring. So nice long leg. It's not just a knee bend. Leg is straight. I'm flexing, kind of pointing, almost like I'm flicking something off of my foot here. Last two. And last one. Ending up in the middle in parallel. You can take a little stretch back here into child's pose and then reset. And here we're going to thread the opposite arm up towards the ceiling to get a little rotation through our upper back. So here I'm going to reach the hand up and then thread underneath here, protecting the neck here. So you don't want to put a ton of pressure on the neck. Exhale to reach, and then inhale to thread. If you want to switch up the breath, if you feel like that serves you better, go for it. Play around with it. Just enjoying this nice rotation through the upper back. Heel reaches long. Last one. And then back down. Awesome. Good job. All right, let's do the other side here. So I'm going to stay on this side because you've already seen it. You get to kind of see the opposite of that side. So coming into this nice broad collarbones, which will then open up the shoulders a little bit. Head in alignment with your spine. Neutral. Taking an arc. Exhale. High-fiving the ceiling with your foot. Exhale up. Making sure that you're not arching the low back to get extra range. You want to work in the range that you can with that low back in neutral. Inhale down. Exhale. Let's add in our little push with the bend of the elbows behind you. Exhale to send the leg long. Inhale, filling up the back of the lungs as that knee taps. Exhale, extend. Inhale, smiling down at the mat. Exhale, extend. Two more. Keeping the hips square as you extend. And last one. And from here, moving down onto the elbows and coming into circles. So here, you'll get to see the stability there. You already kind of know what's coming. So up, high-fiving the ceiling, opening that knee, and circling around. Spinning, circle, and I may just spin around just so you get this other view. Good. Reversing directions. Exhale to open up into that hydrant lift. This hydrant lift can kind of feel a little sticky sometimes, and that's why it's good to do these sort of things. It's like things that feel hard, but you're in control. It's not really pain. That's good. Pushing ourselves and coming back to these movements that feel awkward and hard is good. That's a good thing for us. So from there, still on our elbows, what am I trying to do? We're gonna extend that leg straight and spreading the toes wide, kind of shrug up, shrug down, just getting a little stretch through that feet, exaggerating the movement here, seeing if you can move through all those little joints of the feet as you go back and forth. And then now from here, coming into those rainbow arcs, also flexing the toes, giving a flick, giving a point. Exhale. Inhale, filling the back of the lungs. Keeping that head in alignment with your spine, especially as you get tired. That's always the first thing to kind of droop and go. So here, connecting that breath to movement. If you are getting tired, relying on those deep abdominals, relying on that core to help you. Last one. Ending with that foot in alignment, and this time, I'm gonna face the other way. So, in alignment, reaching up towards the ceiling, spreading your chest wide, standing tall into that elbow, and then threading underneath. Taking a big inhale into the back, that shoulder blade. Exhale, unwind. Inhale. Filling the lungs, listening to the mat there, and good. Last three, inhale there, exhale up, wiggling the fingers. Last one, and exhale, and back down. And come up onto your hands here, or onto your fists if you're feeling like your wrists are tender. Give a little tail wag. We're gonna stretch out the inner thigh here. So, gonna take an inhale and exhale, lift into that hydrant lift. Try to keep your hips as parallel as possible. They will lift a little bit. And then kicking that leg out, inner border of the foot kicks out. So mine is almost out to the side, a little bit of an angle. If this is where your angle is, that's totally good. So, inhale, exhale, sitting back here. And so you're just gonna sit the hips back just a little bit. You might feel an inner thigh stretch here, maybe a stretch through the upper back. But you also don't wanna push it like where you shift over to the other side. You want to feel like your sit bone comes straight back. Inhale, shifting forward. Exhale, shifting back. Inhale, breathing into the crown of the head. Exhale, back. Last two. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, ribs draw in, low belly pulls up, and then from there to come out of it, see if you can keep the arms straight. Sometimes people want to bend their elbows, but we're going to try and lift that whole lever of the leg, bend, come back in. You can switch sides. I'm going to switch views here. So inhale, opening the collarbones. Exhale, lifting that leg, giving a kick, grounding the inner border of the foot there, and then sitting straight back. And just like all the movements, it's not really about the end or the end range. It's about the process of getting there and staying organized and keeping everything kind of in alignment, in control, using your breath for movement. So sitting back. Hopefully this feels nice. If it doesn't, don't do it. You can sit in child's pose, all that good stuff. You know your body best, but this is just an opportunity to move it in a little different way. And then now from there, pausing, taking an inhale, exhale, feeling that shoulder blade connect down towards the hip of the leg that's lifting, and then bringing it back in, giving a little side to side there. We're going to end with a little bit of endurance through the arms, through the abdominals with some bear taps and some walking bear out wide. So curling the toes, this is also a great stretch for the foot. Shoulder blades drawn down, and you can do this on your elbows if your wrists feel tender, or on your fists. Actually, I'm going to do it on my fists just to show you guys. So inhale, exhale, lifting, and we're going to come into these bear taps. So something that's important here is not for speed, that we get the softest little tap of the knees, and then exhale to come back up. Inhale to lower down. Exhale to come back up. Inhale to lower. Exhale, hold there for 2 breath cycles. So it's a little bit of endurance. You also get a little stretch through your foot. Inhaling, exhaling. Last one, inhale, exhale. Taking a little pause. I'm going to shift onto my hands here. My mat's not very squishy. So inhale and exhale, lift, hold, and now we're going to walk wide. So my knees are still kind of facing inward, and we're going to tap, up, walk, parallel, tap, and walk wide, internal there, tap. And you can spend as much time with the knees on the mat if you'd like. But we are here to push ourselves, so try to make a nice soft landing, almost like the mat is hot lava. And up, good. Last one, in, tap, and lift, wide, tap, lift, and curling the toes so they point. Feet are flat, giving a sit back, and shrug the shoulders up, shrug the shoulders down. And from there, dragging the hands towards the top of the knees, like there's a little bit of friction. And from there, coming up, rounding the wrists, taking a big inhale up towards the ceiling. Bring your hands behind your head, a little side to side, rounding, circling, reversing directions, and big stretch out. Inhale, exhale, round forward, hands come to the top of the legs, sliding up, and coming to a tall kneeling. Good job. So I hope you enjoyed. If you have any comments, questions, anything like that, give me a shout. I love hearing from you. And I'll see you again next time. Have an awesome day.